Today marks the start of a brand new segment, Optimization Monday. In Optimization Monday, what we do is we dedicate an entire day, an entire session to just combing through every single process in my life and trying to optimize the process. Because if you optimize the process, things get done quicker and more efficiently. That right there is productivity. So that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be optimizing, not just code, but my entire goddamn life. So it's time to hop into the digital garden and create a new area. Optimization Monday. What are we gonna be optimizing, you ask? Well, there's many things I can do. But the one thing that I would like to focus on optimizing today, video editing. The irony, I'm making a video about optimizing video editing that's being edited by a video editor. That's what we're gonna do. I don't really know. This probably isn't going to be content. Let's be real. If there's one thing I've learned in my... How long have I been doing this for? Let me check. April 2017. 4 years and 3 months of content creation is that anything can be content if you really set your mind to it. So strap in, boys, sit down, get cozy. Let's get optimizing, baby. So, as you'll know, if you've read the blog post, link in the description, by the way, about the recent fun goal, at the end of each month, I essentially stop work, right? And for about a week, I'm just sitting there editing a video. And then after that, I'll usually have like a few days off. And then eventually I'll just get back to work and get back into the rhythm. But it's such a long period of time. I wouldn't say it's 50%, but it's close to like 30%, 40% of my month is spent just editing the next devlog. So if we can try and optimize that and shrink that down more so I can edit faster and basically just pump out videos faster, then, well, I'm going to be able to continue just doing devlogs and just easily pump them out and spend more time doing what actually matters, you know, making a game. Not that devlogs don't matter, because I do really enjoy doing them. I would prefer to be sitting here making a game, just pouring my energy into that, rather than sitting in front of an editor doing monotonous tasks over and over again. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be trying to optimize the editing process. I use an editor called DaVinci Resolve. It's free, so it's quite nice. I used to use Premiere Pro, but I was like, you know what? I want to give Adobe money. I'm just gonna switch to DaVinci. It does the exact same thing at the end of the day. And then I proceeded to resubscribe to Adobe because I really missed Photoshop. I tried using GIMP, dude. I tried using GIMP for like a month. And it's just like, oh my God, GIMP is horrible. I just would not subject anyone to GIMP. I just wouldn't wish it on my worst enemies, you know? We're not talking about Adobe. We're talking about DaVinci. So a couple of things I noticed when I was editing the latest video. I actually tried to sit down and do some optimization, but it just took me way too long. And I had to get a video out and I was nearly late to the deadline because I actually tried optimizing mid-edit, really just couldn't get it working, and then I just gave up. So that's really the whole idea of this series. Once a week, just one day out of the week, each week is just dedicated to optimization. It could be optimizing the video editing process, like in this video, or it could be optimizing the code editing process, right? I've actually recently started creating a custom layer for 4Coder, the Sigma Energy Manifestation Environment Notepad. Ever heard of it? So yeah, we could be working on that as well. So just one day out of the week, each week, optimization. Half of this has just gone offline because I was just freeing up space. But this is the latest devlog, right? It's a little bit messy. Here's another thing. We could actually optimize our interfacing with the operating system. So I've just downloaded this app. It's called XY right? And it's basically just a better version of the native Windows File Explorer. You can have tabs. You can just basically do everything with your keyboard and just, you know, navigate that way, which is quite good. I'd highly recommend this. I've been using it for a while. The reason I downloaded it and sorted it out to begin with is for what I'm just about to do. For the longest time, I've been trying to figure out how to actually store all my media, because I can't really use Power for files because they duplicate across projects. You know, maybe I'll use one song in devlog 25, but it was also used in number 17 or something like that. So I can't really use Power to organize it into projects, areas, resources, archives. So I figured, why not use something called tags. I tried figuring out how to tag files with metadata in order to actually do that. And I came across, this is how I came across XY. I really don't know how to say it, like Explorer. I'm just gonna call it Explorer from here on out. That probably makes the most sense. I think that's what they were going for, but it's just really doesn't work, you know? I would have called Explorer though. You can go down into the categories. So this is how I used to have them organized, just the categories, but it felt a bit restrictive because things would just pile up. For example, the memes over here. So what I'm doing now is I'm literally just all putting it into the one file, right? And then I go up to tags, I just tag it. I just tag it with memes. So now, if I wanted to search for just meme songs, I don't really remember how to do a search. I think we go something like tags memes, like that. And then you can see all the tagged things you have. And you can do this with files, you can do it with folders. It's basically their own independent tagging. You can do it with any file imaginable. Because the inbuilt Windows one, so you have properties and whatnot, you can only do it on certain types of files that actually allow you to store metadata. I don't think you can tag this, but basically inbuilt Windows, dog shit. Explorer, good. That's all we need. So yeah, that's another method of optimization. And I'll just start listing these things off. Operating system interfacing. That probably makes a bit more sense. I've got that one in there. And then we've got, you guys will be able to see the final version of this, accessible to all the members at least. If you'd like to become a member, you can go to rando.gg/fund and you will get access to this entire Rando's digital garden, which I believe I went over in the last video. Link in the description for that bad boy. So yeah, the whole point of this series really is for you guys to just follow along. If you spot anything that you think you could apply to your own life and could be a method of optimization, to allow you to get things done faster, spend less time doing work and more time doing things that matter. Feel free to follow along and optimize with me, baby. I'm just gonna list off good features. Tag-based organization for files and folders. Excellent. Just say navigation of files. So, DaVinci Resolve, the best editor known to man. So I'm yet to touch any of the VFX stuff. They call it Fusion, and it's pretty much just like an inbuilt equivalent of After Effects. Definitely operates differently. It's node-based, so you know you can do a bunch of things with nodes. The benefit over After Effects is that it's literally inbuilt. You literally just switch to a different tab, and you just create like a Fusion clip and just boom. Done. There's no like annoying linking that happens. Fairlight, which is the equivalent of Audition. It's kind of just all wrapped into the one, and it's completely free. So, I mean, it's really quite a good alternative. But that was really the reason I switched to it. That was my main draw. Alrighty, so what can we optimize? All right, so what are the biggest bottlenecks at the moment? Bottlenecks for the editing process. I would say the biggest one, finding B-roll footage to go over the top of A-roll. This right here is B-roll. That's B-roll. My biggest point of friction when editing this latest video was finding B-roll footage to go over the top of A-roll, right? That took me quite a while. The way we can fix this is really by a B-roll library. So this is really just gonna be something that build up over time. All B-roll that could potentially be reused and isn't entirely exclusive to the current video gets stored and indexed into a big old B-roll library. That's really the solution. What we can do is try and do a bit of tag-based organization for the entire B-roll library. So I've just got this right here. I've sorted them into projects and no projects. So this is all the Devlog 25 specific stuff. This is kind of like, it doesn't have a project, but it can still be reused. And this is Devlog 25 stuff that can be reused. Chortle my balls, Silken Valley.mp4.
You can chortle my balls.
Lovely. So things like this, it's like you don't know if you're gonna reuse it, right? But just the fact that it's there and could potentially be reused, you know, you just search up a term that you want and you should find B-roll. You know, once this gets big enough, we should solely be able to operate out of this B-roll library and very rarely go hunt and find B-roll, which is probably the biggest cause of friction in the editing process, right? I'll be chugging along, and then I'll be like, I can't find any B-roll for this. So it's either you just leave it blank just to kind of like let it breathe every now and then. Sometimes it's like, this could be useful for B-roll. So I'm gonna go to Google. I'm gonna try and find some nice footage for it. I'm gonna screenshot, do whatever, right? It just takes a lot of time, you know, and it breaks the flow state. That's really what we're trying to achieve, is a big old library to pull from. So I'm just gonna go through and name all these. Skillshare stuff. I'm guessing this is Ron Vertex move. Ron Bone Vertex move. This isn't really, so this would be project specific. So we're actually gonna get this out. So this is where all my project specific B-roll goes. So let's say I wanted to get some B-roll of Ron. All I gotta do is search Ron, and now I've got, you know, 5 different things that I could potentially play, right? So that's the whole idea behind that. So that should be everything named out, I guess. So that was all the B-roll from the devlog video, actually, except for this. This was just an entire talk on how Star Citizen implemented inverse kinematics with like moving their feet around. So this is pretty much what I'm about to accomplish next. That's the whole reason I'm doing IK, just so I can have the foot positions working nicely with the slopes. It's not gonna be as advanced as this, but that's gonna be pretty cool. So what's the next bottleneck? Zooming in, right? Custom presets for various zooms. This was the one that I got stuck up on when I was actually in the editing process. I tried implementing a preset, right, that you just drag and drop onto the video. You can see right here, it's slowly zooming out, right? I had to manually keyframe this for every single zoom out shot that I did, and that was just a massive area of friction. What I'd like to accomplish is figuring out a way to actually do that properly and create just like a drag and drop transition we can put on. There's a bunch of different transitions we can do. So what I'm thinking is we go over into the Fusion editor and learn a bit how this works and hopefully create a nice abstraction for it. I'd finished work yesterday. I was like, wow, I can't wait to sit on the couch and just relax and watch my favorite course on Skillshare. I went to grab my food and everything, sat down on the couch, and I just looked over my shoulder and just watched helplessly as my Voss water bottle laid on its side and slowly just rolled over the edge of the couch. Dead. Shattered into a million pieces. And I was just like, nope. Guess I gotta clean this up now. And I spent the next half an hour cleaning up my fucking mess. And do I learn my lesson? No. I go out and buy another Voss water bottle. I don't want to drink out of a plastic water bottle. You know how unhealthy that is, homie? Nah, get out of it. All right, so I'm gonna make a new project and I'm gonna call it Optimization Mondays. Now, first things first, there's this thing called a power bin, right? And these persist across everything. I'll take the still forest scene and attempt some sort of easy to use generic movement thing. So for example, I wanted to make a zoom out transition. What I would originally do manually is I would go in here, I would go 1.1, I would keyframe it, I would go to the end, and then I would change this just back to 1, and then that would be a zoom out, right? But there was a lot of steps involved in that. Do it over and over again. It's a monotonous thing that we can automate. So that's what we're gonna try and do. I'm thinking we do like a transform node. All right, so we plonk that in. So this has got everything I need. Zoom, position, all that kind of stuff. All right, so I'm just gonna try and do a basic zoom animation first, because that's gonna be the easiest to do because it's just one variable. So what I could do is just do a keyframe, insert an animated curve. Pretty hard to just learn all of this. Jesus Christ. Holy shit, I swear that's the first time I've ever crashed DaVinci. Yeah. If you try and change the zoom, it's just gonna crash. I don't exactly know how. Like, I can do that and then I can create a macro, right? I'm not too sure if that would be generic to the media in and media out. I just don't know. Ooh, you don't select the media out. All right, that was my mistake last time then. So we'll call this zoom test. All right, and then we just save the macro and load it. So save, and then I've already got a folder for this, DaVinci things. All right, so then we drag it in here. So I've already got my test setting in here. Hopefully our zoom test should actually show up in the effects now. Oh yeah, look, it just showed up straight away. Cool. So if I go back to the edit, completely clear this. So we're just going to reset fusion composition. So it shouldn't have any zoom on it now. Cool. Now, if I go into the effects, zoom test, apply it. Look at that. Look at that, baby. Drag and drop zoom right there. Now, my next issue is, what if it's a different clip, first of all? So let's test to see if it actually works in other clips. So we'll just drag in this trailer. All right, so let's see if the zoom effect applies to this one as well. All right, zoom test. Is it gonna work on this? That doesn't look like it's working. Fuck. God damn it. Actually, I think I need to, yep. Yes. Okay, there we go. You just have to compound it first so that it goes into the space of 0, 0, because this is now from 0. It'll start at 10 still, and then it'll go. Right now, this is hard-coded essentially to start at 10, end at 100. And this clip is a lot shorter. But what I think we can do is we can use a node called keyframe stretcher. So we should be able to use this, and then that should be able to apply it to any kind of variable length. We should be able to get it going. I don't know. This is so much work, dude. But it's gonna save me so much time for when I'm editing next video. All right, sweet. The only caveat, can't use it for clips over than 12 seconds, but why would I have a longer than 12-second clip anyway? Let's say I do. Just hypothetically. For a special case like this, we drag it on, click on it, go to the effects panel, go to the keyframe, we would change the keyframe, put that at 1, and then delete this keyframe. And then that just slowly zooms out over time even more. So you can still manually edit the keyframes. Right out of the box, this should be good for everything. So now all I need to do is go through and make zoom in, zoom left to right, all that kind of stuff. And we should have just the 4 options to choose from. And we should just be able to drag and drop them onto all the clips, and that should be that done. All right, boys, we've gone ahead and done the rest of the effects. So if we go over into the effects, we have right here, of course, just our normal standard zoom in. Before we do that though, we have to quickly Alt S, create a new compound clip, drag and zoom in. Is that zooming in? I can't tell. I have no idea. because the background's moving. Just grab a goddamn picture. Zoom in. That's zooming in. Zoom out. That's zooming out, baby. Pan left to right. Doing exactly what it's told. Right to left. And that right there is the optimization of those simple transitions. Very simple work, right? But it'll add up in the long run. So hopefully that should speed up my editing workflow quite a bit. There's a few more things we can do in relation to that, but I can't really think of them off the top of my head. I think I'll just have to go edit and then figure out what kind of friction points I have and go back to it. That's really that done. Next time on Optimization Monday, we'll probably be working on the 4-coder custom layer instead of editing, which will be quite a bit of fun as well. I literally don't have anything else to say. Except for the fact that you can head on over to twitch.tv/Randy and subscribe with Prime Gaming. And then once you do that, you can then head on over to randy.gg/Prime, link your account, and get a free membership on the website. That'll give you access to all my source code, and you'll be giving me a free $3.20 in the process. Really appreciate it, boys. I'll see you guys next video. Stay strapping, and remember, stay clapping. I don't fucking know.